Welcome in to the Casual Chaos podcast. I'm your host, Jay Ash. I'm joined as always by Bubba and Jeff. What is up, fellas?
How you doing, Jay?
What is going on? Oh, he hit him. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
It is 8:02 on a Thursday, October 3rd. This is the Casual Chaos podcast, the sports wagering community.
And this is a good Thursday night sports night. No doubt about it.
That it is. We are live recording this during the ninth inning, top of the ninth, Padres and Cubs, and anticipating the Yankees, Red Sox, while also in parallel anticipating the Rams and 49ers. So,
although the 49ers got nobody playing tonight, so
it's more of the 40s, not so much the Niners. A lot of injuries. So why are we here? As always, this is about the sports wagering community. Follow us at all the socials at Casual Chaos Live. Send in your tickets, send in your thoughts, comments, what's good, what's bad, what's hitting, what's not, bad beats. We like to hear about it all. We want to feel your pain or more likely feel your excitement and joy. We're coming off a live show we did last Sunday. We did the Bucks Eagles in a scorcher on the field as far as heat. All kinds of shenanigans with defensive touchdowns, pump blocks, interceptions, no completions for one team in the second half. It was a little bit of chaos, more in a casual nature, though. We'll be doing a live show again this Sunday, 1:00. Unfortunately, it's the Eagles again in a 1:00 primetime game against the Denver Broncos. So we'll be live with that event. Hopefully have some people on the street in some bars, getting some real-time info from fans of the show and just fans of football in general. So that's what we got going on. That's kind of the recap. What are you guys feeling tonight? What's good in your world?
I'm just ready for this Yankee game to start. I want this Padre game to get over with so we can get to the main event here, But otherwise, like I said earlier, it's a good sports night. It's been a good baseball day so far. Like you said, we got the football game to watch, and we got two very young pitchers starting for the Yanks and Sox, so it should be exciting.
Bubba, are you looking at the Cubs pitcher and just reminiscing about the beard you had a couple days ago?
Yeah. This guy looks like he wants to give a home run up. The winning run is at the plate. This is what it's all about right here. This is playoff baseball. I, for some reason, thought there was 2 outs. There's only 1. This is a really, really intense situation here. Everybody's on their feet. This is impressive. Fun to watch. But yes, I am thinking about his beard.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. You just roll in and out of the facial hair. It's impressive.
And this is why playoff baseball is the best, though, because you get into this. No, well, I guess depending on your likes or dislikes, maybe, but every pitch matters in playoff baseball, right?
Absolutely.
It's just a lot of drama from pitch to pitch.
So. Yeah, and I know we're going to get into it, but you guys are Yankees fans. That bunt attempt from the Red Sox guy last night was fucking brutal, and
it was fantastic.
I mean, it was great for you guys, but he didn't even look like he wanted to try to bunt, and obviously. You had a chance to probably tie the game if he lays that down, but it's just shitty. Every pitch counts, and you got to be ready to do anything. What
was even better is his next at bat. He was just swinging at those pitches that were still 10 feet outside the zone. It was fantastic.
Yeah, perfect.
Jeff, you have any thoughts on playoff chest hair?
I do not.
Okay, no. Right. We can move this on. So again, follow us at all the socials at Casual Chaos Live. Let's just get into the pod. We got a lot to talk about, and we're ready to go. So let's start this thing off as we always do with some talking tickets. And producer Tyler, what do we got?
Yes, sir. We're starting off with Rain Man. Oh, a little squirrely bunt here, swinging bunt. Oh, he's safe. Oh,
he came off the bag. Did he come off? Did he stay on?
Sorry, got money on the Padres, fellas. So we got Rain Man here. He had Syracuse. With the spread at +4, Syracuse went and got that ass whooped this weekend. So this was pretty much off jump for Rain Man. Now Rain Man did pull it together and put up some money in Cage Warriors 194. Don't say that we don't ever talk about fighting if you're a fighting fan. not the UFC. We're going off brand here. We're going off brand with Cage Warriors 194. Gabriel Galuccio gets the W. Can't say Evan Bates, but I can say Gabriel Galuccio. He got the W this week, plus 300. So quite a good size underdog there for a fight. So anybody else had Cage Warriors on their radar this weekend?
I did not.
I missed that one. Yeah.
I do like the logo.
Yeah, I like the fighting logo.
Yeah.
Generic fighting logo on there. And then he also, Rain Man put in this one this weekend, a little parlay with Bucky Irvin to have a touchdown and Chris Godwin to have at least 4 catches. And I believe he came up a catch short on Chris Godwin. I am checking that real quick just to double check myself. But if that is the case where he came up a few catches short, yep, Chris Godwin had 3 receptions, 10 targets.
Ooh,
that's a bad beat.
And
That's
couple
a really
drops.
bad beat.
He had a couple drops too, correct?
Yeah, he had a few drops. And the Cubs win. Cubs win. Go Cubs go. Go Cubs go. They're moving on.
All right. A lot of people were on the Padres, so this is an early out for them.
Big series, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Then we're going to go over to Card Jam. Card Jam had a nice little winner here. He had Mason Taylor over in 22.5 receiving yards. I believe that says he put up 68 or 9, so cleared that, never worried about it. Jalen Waddle over receiving yards, 44.5. That just got over. Probably his last catch got him over that number, so he's happy about that. And then Devin A-Chain with the touchdown hit, 157 on the line, took home over $1,000. So a nice little W there,
There you go.
for Card Jam, getting on the board. With our winners, we do have losers for Card Jam, unfortunately, but he only wagered $77 compared to the double that on his last ticket. He had the Tigers minus 1.5. This was game 1. He had Tarek Skubal over strikeouts, which I think hit pretty early. But he had Spencer Torkelson to hit a home run. I believe they only won that game 2-1. They might have gotten an extra run in there to make it 3-1, but I do not. Spencer Torkelson, in any rate, did not hit a home run. So unfortunate there for Card Jam.
I got to tell you, that ticket doesn't make any sense. It says the odds are plus 800, so $77 would not pay $8.79. So I don't understand.
He had a little
he's got a boost.
Is a boost? Okay, yeah.
30%
the
boost
profit
on that
boost.
bad boy.
Boost, yeah.
Yeah, those
All right.
boosts are. I had one the other day for like 60% or 50%. It didn't hit the bet, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Little
But
profit boost.
yeah, I
Shout
love
out
the
to Hard
profit
Rock.
boost with our friends over at the Hard Rock. Got a green ticket from the Hard Rock here from none other than Flama Mama. Flama Mama got another W on Monday night Monday Night Football. Bengals, Broncos, just an atrocious football game from the Bengals. They scored those 3 points in the first possession of the game. They didn't even sniff anything else. It was pretty abysmal. The under was just true the whole game. And then lastly, we did have La Flama Mama, and I think many people on this podcast were on UCF Golden Knights going to Kansas State, and pretty much were never in the game for the most part. I mean, Kansas State took care of business. I think we got some good information, good intel that was almost a sure thing. I think we were all putting that monies elsewhere last weekend, and didn't quite come in. But we have a culprit that can probably help us walk through, what happened there. I think the leading UCF Knight agent that we have, One Buck Ant. What do you have to say for yourself, Buck? One Buck Ant.
Oh, am I on? You got me on already?
Oh, you're on, buddy.
Oh my God, man!
You can't
tell you
football?
what, Last week I told you I unlocked UAB's, or excuse me, I unlocked Akron's offense. This week I unlocked Kansas State. That quarterback looked like a Heisman candidate out of nowhere, and it's all because I bet on his ass. So tough week for your boy, but we'll make it back. We always do. Got to keep taking cuts, right, Bob?
I love it.
What's up, boys? How we feeling?
We're doing all right, except we all had Central Florida last week. So
Yeah, well, you also had who else did I give you guys? You also had Georgia Tech minus 13.5. They almost lost outright. They lost in they won overtime because Wake Forest decided to go for 2. And I gave you NC State -9.5. They won the game, but they did not cover that. So I was a solid, healthy 0 for 3 this week. But it's good. We keep taking hacks. We keep coming back.
Gotta keep taking hacks.
Yeah, there was call for another suspension, but
I deserve it, bro.
In honor of the Ryder Cup, we allowed a mulligan to come back this week and see what you have for us.
I had a neck injury and he gave me a tie, right? Is that what it is?
There you go. That's it. Exactly. So
we're coming back this week. Here we go. So this week's a lot different than last week, right? We had a lot of big games, a lot of like every window we had something. Sometimes we had 2. This week's a lot different. So we'll start with week 5, right? I think some big upsets last week. The biggest one, start the week on Friday. Virginia takes down FSU in overtime. That was the quickest field storm I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
Yeah, somebody got hurt, didn't they?
Nah, I think it was some meme going around. They said that wide receiver died or something, but he just got lost in the crowd.
Yeah.
FSU was a 7-point favorite on the 30th anniversary of Warwick Dunn getting stopped at the goal line at Virginia all those years ago against Rhonda and Tiki. Happens again. I was all over FSU. I thought this was a surefire thing. Castellanos looked okay, but I was being told the whole week, Florida State's rush defense is the best in the country. They got ran all over. What do you guys think about that one?
I mean, I don't know how Mike Norvell doesn't have the team ready to play. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you got a chance to have a great season. This tarnishes it a little bit. Reminded me a little bit too much of last year. You got to have your team ready to go play. It's a Friday night game. Like, I just don't get it. They have better talent. There's no reason they should have lost that game.
It's funny. They dropped 10 spots in the AP poll, which, again, we all know doesn't really mean anything. But did you guys see that Rossini on ESPN? She just freaking crushed that. she crushed that poll. And look, they're going to probably lose to Miami tonight. Not tonight, but this
Saturday,
weekend too. Yeah. So, their season. I mean, if they end up losing to Miami, their season's basically over. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I stay away from Friday football for that reason right there. Just historically, my personal gambling prowess on Friday lacks. So it doesn't surprise me they lost. That was a classic trap game, Bubba, I thought. Losing the game outright in overtime, yeah, probably not the outcome, but I didn't think they would cover either, though, because they're looking ahead. It's a huge stage with Miami. Game day was supposed to be there. Now they're not going to be there. It's going to be 2 heavyweights, 2 top 8 teams, no longer the case. So I just think they got caught in a trap.
Yeah. I think too, like we're hyping them up because at the beginning of the season we didn't think they were going to be anything. They just beat Alabama, right? That's who they've beaten. Now, Alabama had a big win this weekend.
Right,
that helps that cause.
Yeah,
but up until that weekend, that win against Georgia, which Kirby Smart just has a little thing with Alabama can't beat them. Outside of that win, if Alabama loses to Georgia there, you don't we're hyping up FSU for beating a bad Alabama team. That's what we're doing. So I think we're just overhyping FSU. I think that's who they are. I think they're the middle of the pack of top end to middle of the pack of the ACC, which isn't. I mean, you're going to lose to Virginia every once in a while. Miami might do it later on this year, I bet. That's just the way Miami rolls.
Yeah, I think this year has some signs of 2007 where we think we have it all figured out. And then, USF is all of a sudden number 2 team in the nation. We just think we understand who the best team in the nation is week in and week out, and it gets flipped on its head every week. I mean, all of the Heisman hopefuls we had at the beginning of the year that all the experts said were going to be there are not there. The best teams, like this next team we'll talk about here, chokes again. Penn State at home against Oregon, another overtime loss.
Historically, if we're going to go on history, we knew that we knew who was going to win that game and cover the spread.
Oh my God, your boy James Franklin is now 1-15 against top 5 opponents since he's been at Penn State.
It's rough. I do give them credit though because they came back from 14 down to tie that game up. I mean, that was impressive, but ultimately they lost. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I was heavy on Penn State. This is the season I'm having. I thought Penn State was going to be one of the best teams. They still might be, right? We look at this last year. Ohio State was in a very similar boat. They had an early loss. We kind of wrote them off. They had one loss most of the season. People said they were going to be out. Then they lost to Michigan. They had 2 losses going into the playoffs. They still ended up making the playoff because of this new system we have and go on and have a run and win the championship. Now, do I think Penn State's going to do that? I don't think so, right?
Well, they're going to lose. They're most likely going to lose to Ohio State, right? And then there's probably not another loss on their schedule, so they very well could get in with 2 losses.
Jeff, you got to play Indiana, who looks like they're a top 5 team too, man. Yeah.
Where's that game?
It's in Penn State, which is very big. That it's in Penn State definitely sways their way.
And it's in the next 3 weeks, right?
No, it's towards they still got to play. They go to UCLA this weekend, which that's a dumpster fire. They'll win that game if Igo Suit out there be the quarterback.
Yeah.
Northwestern, they'll wax them. Iowa, always a question mark on those Iowa games. They're just being weird, but it's in Iowa. Then they go to Ohio State, Indiana, Michigan State, Nebraska, Rutgers. So
I'll say
that's their stretch right there. Those 3 games are it's Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana.
And Iowa, and they play at Iowa too. Like it's not going to be easy. I will say this though. People always talk about like strength of schedule out of conference at the beginning of the season. Like Penn State, no one was talking about how shitty this first 3 games were. They were just cakewalking through Nevada, through FIU, then Villanova, and then they had a night game against Oregon. That's like, how do you go from, wrestling guys who are half your size to Goliath? You know what I mean? I think if I'm scheduling games, you got to get someone in there better. And people make fun of the SEC for not scheduling these games. And Penn State, I think that their schedule is a big reason why Oregon was a big letdown. Now, double overtime loss, they can come back. Who knows? I think that game was exciting. Aller looked like shit. I don't think he's a guy. Dante Moore is all of a sudden going to be a top 10 draft pick, in one of these drafts coming up here.
He didn't look great. He didn't look great in that game either, though.
He looks. Hey, he's a redshirt freshman quarterback up against a 5th-year senior. He outplayed the hell out of Drew Aller, who's supposed to be a guy. Sure. Yeah, I like Dante Moore a lot. And I think
who calls Drew Aller a guy though?
Everyone was calling Drew Aller a guy. Everyone
fans.
Going into this year or after he was supposed to be a top 5 draft pick going into this draft
because he's 6'6" and big and has big arms.
If you look at McShay's draft board, I don't believe he's in the top 10.
He's not. He
not anymore.
He doesn't even have in the first round, I don't think.
But he was projected top with last year's quarterback class. He was a projected top 15 pick minimum.
I mean, and to your point, I mean, he's been expected to be a first-round pick ever since he got to Penn State. He just hasn't lived up to the hype, So,
listen, our text thread during the game, Jeff, we called it really early. I mean, Penn State has no explosiveness whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So if they go down, it's a problem. They don't have an offense that can come back. So if they're not running the ball well or dominating the line of scrimmage, they're going to be in tough shape. The defense is nowhere near what it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The last thing on this game, I think it's so funny. I went to school with a lot of guys who were Philly fans, which ended up being Penn State fans too. People talk all this shit about the fucking whiteout, how it's like an impossible place to play. I did some digging. What do you think the whiteout record is since it started in 2005?
It's not great. I know that it's not great. But go
ahead. Franklin hasn't won a big game, like a true big game where they would probably do it. I mean, it's close, but he doesn't win.
10-8, and they're saying it's impossible to play in a whiteout. I mean, like you look at home records in Death Valley at night. I bet you Death Valley at LSU, right? It's probably close to undefeated night game at LSU. That's that. I mean, people talk about those two being the toughest atmospheres. Whiteout Penn State, kiss my ass is what I say to that.
It is fun though. As a viewer, it's fun. But
other than that, screen.
Yeah.
The last game of the week, a bunch of games happened. We'll go quick. Bama, Georgia. I was watching that game. I had my in-laws in town here, huge Georgia fans. Kirby Smart. It doesn't matter who's coaching for Alabama. He can't figure it out. He sees the Crimson Tide come in. He shits his pants. I mean, we talk about the whole game, back and forth, whatever. The game was lost when it was 4th and they were down by 3 with 5 minutes to go. It was 4th and 1, and they decided to run. They decided to run hurry up and give it to their third string white running back.
Yeah,
stopped, and that's the game. And that's Kirby Smart just seeing getting
He
blinded
got out
by the
coached.
Crimson
He
Tide.
got out coached by a guy
Out-coached.
who's almost going to get fired. He got out coached.
He got out coached by a guy who was going to get fired 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Kirby Smart just sees that Crimson Tide, gets blinded by the Crimson Tide.
I will say this though. Alabama did play really, really well. I mean,
Of course they did.
put it all together. Like, they beat a good Georgia team. I understand what you're saying about Kirby Smart. You got to give him credit, though. You got to give Alabama credit. They played well. Their offensive coordinator was calling plays out the ass. The last play to convert on that third or fourth down was unbelievable. Like,
they were humming. I think they were like, to start the game, 10 for 10 on third down conversions.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson, who like had a really rough start at Florida State, now all of a sudden is NFL worthy. He's going to be probably going to New York. Who knows? I mean, like, he's having a great year. Had a great game against Georgia. Fun game to watch. Tough loss. I had a big bet on Georgia. That was my press after losing all day. I pressed Georgia money line. No bueno. Tough weekend for your boy. But I'm curious to see what you guys thought about that game too. It's a tough one.
I actually wound up betting. I said on this show last week I didn't really like Bama. I wound up betting the dog in a parlay and it hit. So
nice.
I had him with Oregon. So I just figured I'd do a late night parlay. I had Oregon straight up too. So listen, Bama's D is starting to play to the preseason hype, and I think that's a big part of it for them, because this was supposed to be the year they were supposed to get back to more of that Alabama ground and pound, dominate both lines of scrimmage, defense wins you the ball game, not trying to score 40 with some type of crazy mobile quarterback or something along those lines. So let's see. They've got a tough schedule ahead of them too. I'm really interested in the Vanderbilt game this week, because normally a 10-point line makes you go, it's Alabama, it's Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's undefeated, and this is a revenge game because Vandy, literally walked goalposts down Broadway last year in Nashville.
Thiago Pavia hasn't stopped running his mouth since that game too. Right. I like Vandy in that game just because I'm rooting for, I always root for Bama to lose, but yeah. I'm with you. What you think, Jeff? You got anything on that game?
No, I stayed away from it. I mean, I watched it. It was a good game, and I wasn't shocked at the outcome, but I didn't throw anything on it personally.
Yeah.
So
it's a great football game all around.
Great football game.
Yeah.
So a lot quieter, like I said earlier, a lot quieter week this week. We don't have like the big heavyweight matchups like we did. Blame the schedules for that. I mean, could have mixed some of it up so we had some better games this week. Couple big games before we get into like my picks. We mentioned Bama Vanderbilt. That's probably one of the biggest games of the weekend. I like Vanderbilt in that game. I'll probably sprinkle a little bit on the money line just to have fun. But Bama's coming off like a big win in Athens. I know Vanderbilt's no longer like a cupcake. They're not going to look past this game. They're going to want to win it. 10.5 seems big for a team who has dominated most of this season. Diego Pavia looks great. Like I said, I like the over in that game too at 55.5. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in that game. The other big game that will have the weekend, Texas, Florida. Weird line in that one. I think it's like, what is it, 4.5 Texas is last I saw it?
It's up to 6.5.
6.5? Okay. Weird. I know it's at Florida. Tough to play in the swamp. It's going to be hot. But man, and Arch hasn't looked good all year. This is like really Arch Manning's first test, if you can call Florida a test. I mean, Florida's defense has been top notch for most of the year, but he's going to only have to score 14 points to win the game probably. So we'll see how that game goes. But you guys have anything on those two games? I was going to mention them briefly because they were big.
I think Texas boat races Florida and Florida. Yeah. I think Florida's a bad team. I think everybody overhyped the quarterback, and he was supposed to have some.
Is he even playing?
Yeah. He was supposed to have some breakout year where he was going to compete for the Heisman and Lagway We Trust, all that fun stuff. The team just looks really bad. The defense is not good. And the offense might be worse. So I think Texas, if they're playing their A game, they dominate both lines of scrimmage, and it's just a war of attrition. I don't see it being under 10-point win for them. I know it's a tough place to play, but it's hot in Texas too.
That's right. I think if Florida loses this one, which they probably will, Napier's fired, and I'm hoping we get Gruden in Florida. I think that'd be absolutely fantastic. We see Gruden back coaching, especially an SEC program like Florida. So,
That would be funny.
cool. All right, I got some picks. We got 3 this week. I'm going to just preface these. I did not think about these much. I've been thinking way too much about my picks. I'm going to just go gut reactions now. We'll see what happens. I'm due for a 3-0. Right, Bub? We got to keep on taking hacks.
Rapid fire. Let's hear them.
Rapid fire.
Is this kind of like a Costanza opposite?
It's just Costanza opposite. Yeah, this is Costanza opposite. This is exactly that. Yeah.
I love it.
We got Maryland +7 versus Washington. Maryland at home. Washington coming off a tough loss against Ohio State. They got to travel 3,000 miles to the nation's capital. Go play Malik Washington, who's having a great year. I like the Terps to cover that game easy. You win a rapid fire, Bub?
No, you take your time. It's all good. I kind of like the first one, so let's hear it.
I just still love Malik Washington. I talked about him last week. He's having a great year. He's from a local kid from Dunbar High School, just down the road. I love when Maryland kids play locally to Maryland because there's a lot of talent in that state. A lot of them don't stay home. So when they do play, it's like the whole city gets around them, and Malik Washington's playing really, really well. +7 at home. Washington has a long plane ride after a tough game last week. Love them in that game. I'll probably sprinkle a little bit on the money line too. You guys have anything on that, or keep going?
Fire away.
Love it, man. I got Miami. We talked about this earlier. Miami -4.5 at Florida State. Florida State coming off a heartbreaking loss, obviously to Virginia last week. Miami looks unflappable at this point. Carson Beck is having an incredible year. Defense looks insane. Well-coached football team. I understand this is a rivalry game in conference, whatever. Tallahassee's a tough place to play. It's going to be loud, but Miami 4.5, it just feels too little. I think Miami gets ahead, gets out early. They're going to run the ball all over Florida State. If Virginia was able to do that against Florida State, Miami's going to have 200 yards rushing. I like the under in this game too. Total right now is 54.5. I don't think Florida State scores more than 14.
Yeah, I like Miami big time in that game too. I think it's a walkover. So.
Feels like a trap, but sometimes you just got to go with it, right? Feels like, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited about that game. I'll be tuned in there. Before my lock of the week, brief mention: I'll be boots on the ground in South Bend at Boise State, or in South Bend against Boise State, wearing their green. That line is at 20.5. I don't recommend betting that. We talked about a stat. Jeff, you want to fire it off for me?
Yeah, so Freeman has been actually really good since he's been at Notre Dame against the spread, except for against unranked a group of 5 teams. He's only 1-6 with 2 outright losses against those teams. So, and Boise State would qualify in this scenario.
Big number, big line. I'm going to be there. I'm going to bet it. I'm going to be at the Blue Chip Casino at the DraftKings Sportsbook, hammering that all damn day.
Nice.
It's going to be fun, but don't recommend it.
You need some business cards?
Yeah, I might need some. But I'll say it'll be fun.
I'm a college football analyst for Casual Chaos.
I'm in again 35% this year. Take my picks.
Yeah, I'll swing by before you leave. I'll print you out a credential.
I love it. And then before I leave you guys, lock of the week.
Oh, boy.
Love it. We got Temple +6.5 at home against UTSA. I love the home dog. UTSA was supposed to have a better year than they're having so far. Running game really hasn't been there like they expected. Temple's faced tougher opponents, has kept it closer on the road against tougher opponents. I like Temple to cover. Gut reaction. Took 30 seconds to think about it. Probably sprinkle a money line on that one too.
It sounds like Ashton doesn't agree. Jay Ash, what do you got there?
The road runners are always tough. I just like the beep beeps. So
yeah, it's the best. One of the best mascots in football. But that's all I got, boys. I appreciate your time. You got anything for me?
Ant, before you go, let me ask you this: is it lining up? You said Miami's looks unstoppable. Ohio State, I don't see anybody beating them. Is it lining up to be another 2003 Fiesta Bowl, Miami versus Ohio State? Can you see that happening?
Little Maurice Claret. Man, we'll see. I don't know. I think Ohio State's right now the clear favorite. They have a few tough opponents coming down the road here. Miami, I don't think this might be their toughest opponent the rest of the year. But the playoffs fun, man. It's gonna be good.
No, the playoff, anything can happen for sure.
Yeah. I'd be sick though. I didn't even think about that. Miami Ohio State Fiesta Bowl. That'd be sick. Yeah, he's back. Is he back?
What's that?
Is the U back?
Oh, well, our buddy Garbs thinks they are. That's for sure. But
the U's back, but it's not the same U. Carson Beck is the bad boy, so it's not the same U.
Yeah. All right, boys, go Cubs, go. Last bet before I leave you guys. There's a big UFC card this weekend. My UFC lock of the week. We got Khalil Roundtree plus 155 over Jiri Prochazka. I like the knockout too. I think Khalil Roundtree's a better fighter than Jiri. I think Jiri's washed up. Appreciate it, boys.
Does he knock him out with a roundhouse?
Be sick.
Roundtree Roundhouse.
I like it.
Be sick. Appreciate y'all, boys. Go Cubs, go. See you later.
Give touchdown Jesus a high five for us.
Will do, boys. Thank you.
Yeah, Bubba, tell him to send some vids when he's out there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going with any buddies or anything, but yeah, for sure. He'll be at the game and he'll be cheering hard. And I'm pretty sure this might be someone's got to fact check me, but this might be the first season that Notre Dame is selling alcohol in the stand.
It is.
No, it is.
Okay. Yeah. So he'll have a good time.
Well, all right. Let's transition. Baseball, anyone?
Yeah. So before we jump into what's already happened, let's obviously with us doing the pod here on Thursday night, we locked in our picks on Monday. So let me just run through them real quick, and then you guys obviously could comment on what you chose. So I went with the Dodgers and Brewers playing in the NLCS, and the Yanks and Mariners playing in the ALCS. I got a Yanks-Dodgers rematch, and I got the Yanks winning the title. Bubba, you went with Phillies-Padres, NLCS, Red Sox-Mariners, ALCS, and you got the Phillies and Red Sox in the World Series with the Red Sox winning. So you're still alive with your World Series winner as of now. Ash, you went Yanks-Mariners too, and Phillies-Padres, and you got Yanks-Phillies in the World Series with the Yanks winning. And then producer Tyler, you went with Yanks-Tigers and Brewers-Dodgers, Yanks-Brewers in the series with the Brewers winning it all. So you did a little swerve there. So you guys want to comment on that at all before we get into the games that have already been played?
Padres out. So Philly doesn't automatically advance, but I think they might. And
the Cubs are good, though. I mean, the Cubs are good.
Cubs are great, and I mean, nobody had the Reds anywhere in that. So the Dodgers ran right through them. So those are the only two teams that are out.
The Reds were by far the worst team in the playoffs, with the Guardians probably the second worst, and both those guys are out. So
yeah.
So I mean, for me, always it just comes down to tonight, because there's only one theme. It's fuck the Red Sox. So let's go from there.
So the playoffs have been good, though, right? I mean, this we got 3 game 3s, right? Game 7s, if you want to call them.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, which is more. I mean, we've been texting this week, but the 3 game 3s are more than there had been in the 3 previous seasons, right? That they've had this format. So that's pretty cool. And both games today were good. That Padres Cubs game came down to the wire. The Yanks 0-0 right now with this is the youngest starting pitching matchup in this series history. Yankees Red Sox, they've never had 2 guys who had 15 or less starts coming into the playoffs, meeting up. So so it's cool stuff, man. Interesting stuff.
It's been fun from a gambling standpoint too. I mean, the Dodgers were layups both nights. The money lines were huge, but the run lines and more importantly, the total runs. Again, I got the Dodgers last night. 4.5 was minus 110. I took them at 5.5. It was plus 125. I mean, it was to me a no brainer. So same thing with the Yanks tonight. I got the Yanks at 3.5 tonight.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So. I think this format's cool. I was surprised to see the stats of how many games weren't going all 3 and the 2-game sweep. So it's nice to see it. It's a little stressful tonight. Like we were saying last night, Jeff, like nothing's fucking easy apparently. God forbid we get an insurance run here and there. It's just like grind against these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I said it on this pod before too. I did not want to see the Red Sox.
Yeah,
you did. Now let me ask you a question. So, coming into this year, nobody who had lost game 1 had ever won the series. Did that change today with the Cubs and Who was the other team that won today?
Cubs won game 1.
Okay.
Cubs
So-
won game 1, and
And
the Tigers won game 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. So if the Yankees win tonight, they'll be the first team to ever lose game 1 and then win the series. So,
I like it.
Yeah.
Recent history.
Oy,
Ooh.
that
Nah.
ball's gone. Oh,
The foul ball.
no.
No,
Oh, I'm ahead of you.
almost this fucking single. Jesus Christ, he must have been jogging out of the box.
It
He
looked like it
he
went
can't run.
out. I think
No, it didn't
Hit
go
the
out.
hit the little stuff.
I know, but I think he held up, like he stutter stepped because he thought it was a home run.
He also can't run anymore,
yeah.
though. He
They're
doesn't
laughing
even
at him.
try to, you know.
And he got to
So,
second, so
Yeah, he thinks about running and pulls a hamstring.
yeah.
yeah. These specifically this series though.
He definitely
like,
thought it was out, by the way.
he did. Yeah, he did. Look at him.
Yeah.
This series between the Red Sox and the Yankees, like, both games have been close. Like, both teams have had a chance, even in the 9th inning. So it's just fun to watch. It reminds me of old school baseball. This is what baseball is all about, in my opinion. So it's either, no matter what happens tonight, it's good for baseball.
No doubt.
So, like you guys are saying, he thought that was out. I wonder if the wind's blowing in here because he's usually not wrong on this stuff. So,
And he looked like he squared it up too. So
yeah. That's interesting.
It's like the biggest part of the field almost.
One other tidbit is that he actually faced this pitcher in the minors this year when he was doing a rehab assignment. So he's the only Yankee guy who's actually faced him before. So anyway, all right. So Niners are coming in with a mash unit, and they're already up 7-0 on the Rams, which
Mac Jones.
doesn't make me happy. You guys will see why later. But
7 for 7, 95 yards on opening drive.
Really?
and
Who did he throw it to? Did he throw a touchdown? I had the first touchdown. Bang.
Tongus.
I had it.
Nice.
You had Tongus?
There you go.
I think it's his 3rd game this year. I was going to give it if it hit, but I think it's his 3rd game this year with the first touchdown. And it was like, what did I hit there? Plus 2,250. So that was a $3 bet that just paid out $70.
Nice.
First
There you
touchdown
go.
scorer.
We like it. Roll it.
Yeah. For
Roll it.
sure.
All right.
Wow,
Well,
that's exciting.
we're kicking off week 5 in the NFL. Let's recap week 4 storylines now that we're 4 games through. Ravens 1-3. Shocking,
Yeah.
disappointing.
With the worst defense in the league so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not even close.
Eagles 4-0. So not surprising. What's got everybody's attention coming out of the week and into this week?
Well, I mean, you touched on it for me. I mean, right now the favorites are doing well, right? Buffalo, obviously, they beat the Saints. That's not a big deal, but they're doing well. The Eagles are doing well. The Lions, bounce back with a good win. The Rams are playing well, at least before tonight, and the Chiefs. A lot of people wanted to bury the Chiefs. I wasn't one of them. They're getting their guys back, and all of a sudden they're starting to look like who we thought they were going to be. So, right now the favorites coming into the year are all looking pretty good, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Except for the Ravens. I mean,
Except for the
are only
Ravens,
one.
yeah. That's the only one that looks doesn't look too good, especially with Lamar out. They're not very good without him. So
No doubt.
Be interesting. I mean, to be honest with you, I watched that Colts Rams game. I mean, I'm sure you guys did too. I mean, coming out of week 4, the Rams should have lost that game. Like, they didn't lose it. Great. They still won the game. The Colts lost by 7. They should have won by 7. And it was all due to one player, right? He had the holding call, I think, at the end when they could have went ahead by a touchdown. And then he also fumbled the ball into the end zone on an easy touchdown. So just interesting stuff to me. Bucks, Eagles coming out of week 4. Like we talked about it in our group chat. The Bucks easily could have won that game. The Eagles didn't do shit in the second half, but they did enough in the first to pull out the win. And then my storyline coming out is like, who are the what are the Cowboys? Like, I had them. They covered for me.
They're fun to watch, actually.
Yeah. Like, if they could just figure out how to do anything on their defense, they would be phenomenal, because George Pickens is a great pickup for them. He played his ass off the other night. I know they don't have CeeDee Lamb, but like, I want so bad for the Cowboys to be good again. And they're like 3 defensive players away from doing it, because Dak Prescott is playing really fucking good football right now.
Well, he's healthy.
3's a lot, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
3 is a lot, but
they
they
need more
just
than
find
three.
they just find 3. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not a good football team.
They're
Not.
fun to watch, though.
Yeah,
You're a fan, so it hurts more, but they are fun to watch, actually.
No, I'm fucking numb to it at this point.
Yeah.
But again, they gave up 40 again, right?
Yeah.
The Packers should be ashamed of themselves.
That's an awful. I mean, that's a tie, but that's a loss. That's an awful.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
an awful
Right.
game for them. Yeah.
Right. So you had all signs to point to a rebound game. Go in, let Micah Parsons, get a couple sacks, talking shit. And he not only put up a donut, he barely played the second half, right? Because again, he's hurt as usual, right? It's just cringeworthy to watch Jerry talking before the game as usual. But Bubba, that's just they're not a good football team. The defense is terrible. It's not getting better. The defensive backs, they don't know how to play football. It's embarrassing to watch. It really is. I mean, when commentators are like, I don't understand the coverage, right? I don't understand how these guys are lining up. I don't understand how you're letting people get off the ball freely. It's kind of embarrassing. Front four is okay. The linebackers, they got some speed, but it's just not a good football team. Dak's going to be fine as long as he's upright and has some weapons. And Javonte Williams is a big surprise. I don't think anybody saw him, being as productive as he is. They're going to go against the Jets this week, I would imagine. And let me check the money right now. I imagine there's a ton of money on the Cowboys.
The Lions,
63% of the money and 63% of the bets are on the Cowboys, which is not surprising.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Anyway, the bigger story for me is in their first loss, and it wasn't a shocking loss to me with the Giants beating the Chargers, but Alt being hurt is a problem, especially with Staley being hurt already.
Yep.
It's an ankle. Who knows? He might come back this week. It might take a couple weeks. Either way, I don't know a lot of teams, especially teams with a run-first mentality, that are better after their two best linemen get hurt. So that to me is the big storyline, because everybody pretty much after week 3, when they were 3-0, already beating the Chiefs, pretty much had the Chargers penciled in to go to the Super Bowl, or at least the AFC Championship against Buffalo.
Yep.
And I think there could be a big shift. And I think it's going to be just what Jeff and I have been talking about, since the preview show. I think you're just going to kind of be in a malaise and look at the standings at week 10 and go, wait, the Chiefs are in first place again?
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd that happen? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, that's those are my thoughts there. Week 5, it's an interesting board, almost like college. It's just like kind of like, who put these games together? Like Houston and the Ravens probably look great on paper before the season. Bucks Seahawks should be a good game.
Yep.
Excuse me, Pats Bills. But there's some garbage out there for sure. Anything you guys want to touch on? Yankees scored? Yes. Anything you guys want to touch on before we get into categories?
the Yankees didn't score. That's a replay, dude, of last night.
Oh,
I was about to say. I was like, am I
wait a
watching the wrong game?
I'm trying to host a podcast here, and I took a quick look to my left.
Yeah, I get it.
I got something to look forward to. I think the Seattle Seahawks Bucks game is going to be the coolest jersey game in the history of football. With the creamsicles and the throwback Seattle jerseys, it's going to look sweet.
That'll be fun.
My barber is actually going to the game, him and a couple buddies. They're flying out there tomorrow, so they're fired up. And the Mariners got a home playoff game, so Seattle's going to be rocking this weekend. Cool.
Seattle's a fun city when there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I'd love to. We had it lined up 15 years ago, but it fell through. We were going to do a Washington college game, a Husky game, and then we were going to go to a Seattle game the next day. And plans fell through, but those would have been two really cool stadiums to check out back to back.
Absolutely.
So, all right, well, let's get into it. Gun to the head, lock of the week. Who wants to start?
Go ahead, Bubba.
I like the Cowboys over the Jets.
There it is.
I know that Jay's probably not happy about that. I know you'll be rooting for him, but that is my lock of the week there.
I like the Chiefs. I liked them last week, and they came through. I like them again, -3.5. So I'm going with KC on the road.
There you go.
I hit my lock of the week last week with the Pats. I'm gonna go. I just don't like the number. I think the Colts take care of business with the Raiders at home, but a touchdown, there's too much backdoor potential. So I'm going to go the other way, a team that has no business laying 7.5, 8 points to anybody. And I'm going to take the I'm going to take the Titans plus 7.5.
wow.
Lock of the week.
Wow.
The lock of the week is
Yep.
an underdog. Dig it.
Wow, on the
Dig
road
it.
too. Wow.
On the,
All right.
yeah. That's my. That's great. My lock of
Cojones.
the week. My lock of the week is also an underdog, which is kind of why I said it. But the Giants over the Saints. Saints are a favorite, 1.5. I'll take the rookie and Dart. He's already gotten a win. Spencer Rattler's played like 15 games in the NFL, hasn't gotten a win. So I'll take the rookie that's 1-0 versus the guy that's played 16 games and not had a win yet.
That's a bad beat for them, losing Neighbors for the year though. That's
Correct.
That's a crushing
Correct.
blow. You know, yeah.
But Cam Scatabo is that guy. Just hand the ball off.
Scattaboo. All right. What do we got for a complete stay away?
I'll go first here. It's pretty easy for me. Dolphins, Panthers. I want nothing to do with that game.
God,
So,
I didn't even know that was a game.
yeah.
That's awful.
Oh God, that is a good one. That is a good one.
The Niners just scored again. They're up 14-0 on the road.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
It's not good.
What are the Rams? What are the Rams? Like, they lose this game.
This would be a really bad loss for them. But yeah, there's a long way to go. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, this would be a brutal loss because I have them at least one survivor pool. So
Mac
I
Jones
told myself
touchdown.
never do Thursday survivors. But what are you going to do?
Bubba, your stay away?
My stay away is happening overseas. It is the Vikings and Browns. I mean, obviously, we know that Gabriel's going to start first game overseas across the pond. Vikings have been there for a week and a half already. It'll end up being 2 weeks. Are they fat and happy? In London or wherever they're at for 2 weeks in a row. Crazy shit happens in these international games. And you got to wake up at 9:30 in the morning to watch them. Stay away completely because probably won't even watch it unless I get up on time. And I don't know what's going to happen in that game, to be honest.
Yeah, I actually think them staying in Europe is an advantage for them, right?
Absolutely.
But,
For sure.
I think it is too, but they've got their families there, right? So are they focused? Are they on vacation? Are they at work? Because they should be at work. So
it's a good.
Well,
good point.
they're in the training room. That's part of the problem. That's the reason why I wouldn't touch it, because you could tell me Minnesota wins by 10, or you could tell me that they lose by 20.
right. Yeah.
Nothing would surprise me in that game, and that's part of the problem with those games over there. But their offensive line is decimated. I think there's 3 starters, and you're going up against the front 7 that you don't want to have no offensive line. So I agree.
Yeah. And like, as far as fans traveling there, I don't know how many NFL fans from the United States travel there, but if the Vikings have been there for 2 weeks, I imagine there'll be a lot of purple and not a lot of orange. I don't think anybody from Cleveland's fucking flying in the game. So,
well, there was no purple in Ireland. If you saw that game,
it was all Steeler fans. Yeah. And listening to the Simmons pod the other day, Hurlbeck said that it was like being in Pittsburgh for a game.
Yeah.
And I think Queen actually came out and said it might have been more exciting than a normal Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. So my stay away is kind of for a different reason. I touched on it earlier. I'm staying away from the Chargers Skins game. I don't want anything to do with that. You don't know if Mariota's playing or if Daniels is playing. You don't know what that offensive line looks like.
Right.
For the Rams. For the Chargers. I'm just staying away. It's not for me.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm also Cardinals Titans, just because Cardinals being 7.5 point favorites. They could very well win that game by like 18. Again, I keep saying, like, eventually you'd think the Titans are a professional organization, so they got to play some kind of football. I don't know if that's going to happen though, so I'm just staying away from that game. It's pretty bad over there in Tennessee right now. But the Cardinals are I just don't know what that team are.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. And our boy Schlittler's looking pretty good, Ash, so far. So
Yeah. I know.
This guy throws fucking gas.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay. Last category. Underdog money line play of the week.
Well, go ahead. You start first on this one.
It's actually Bubba's stay away game. Your game, Jeff. It's I'm gonna take the Panthers plus 1.5. Hopefully it gets to 2. I'll take the money line, probably 110. It's lame. I shouldn't do it. It's too light. I want to take the Titans and double down on it. Little hesitant to do that there. There's really I was hoping Lamar was going to play and hit the Texans as a dog, but I'm just going to go low number Panthers at home, coming off a blowout win. Miami, not good. Don't let a win against the Jets fool you. Tyreek Hill out, offense going to change. We'll see what happens at home for Carolina.
All right. Bubba? Go ahead, Bubba.
My underdog money line play of the week is the Baltimore Ravens, and I will tell you why. They've got Cooper Rush, and he is capable of handing the ball off to Derrick Henry. And that's all that matters because Texas fucking sucks. Their defense sucks. Their offense sucks. They're going to be an underdog, minus 120, minus 130. I like them to win the game. I don't think they're going to go 1-4. If they can win a couple with Lamar out, it'll help them potentially save the season. This is the one they're going to hopefully do it on. So,
All right.
Texas defense ain't bad.
That is true.
The Jaguars beat them up.
They scored 17 points.
Derrick Henry should have 3 touchdowns against them.
Well, here's the thing, Bubba. I'm with you, and you'll see why later. But Baltimore's defense is so bad. It's so bad. And they're all banged up. So we'll see what happens here. But I don't hate the pick. I don't hate it. I'm surprised. Actually, Bubba, I thought you were going to do this, but I'm taking Tampa plus 165. I know they're obviously a little beat up too, but I think they're gonna bounce back from last week's loss, and I think they're gonna get a win outright. So
hard to play in Seattle. I know that.
It is.
I'm gonna take Liam Cohen and the Jaguars to beat the Chiefs at home. Don't know why. Just looking at none of the other ones look fun. The Bengals got no fucking shot. The Patriots is a little fun one, but the Bills are just too good for that. But the Jaguars maybe have a chance. Rookie coach don't know any better. Maybe go in, win a game.
Real quick, just because you mentioned it, that Patriots Bills game actually interests me because the Pats looked really good last week. The Bills defense has not been impressive so far this year. So I don't know. That game might be closer than people think.
I like the Pats getting the points for sure.
Yes.
If that game was in New England this week, I'd take the Pats money line.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree with
you. You got to ask yourself in that game: is Buffalo going to have 2 down weeks? Because they didn't really play well against the Saints. So do they do that 2 weeks in a row? If they don't do that 2 weeks in a row and they play how they're supposed to play football, it shouldn't be close.
Mike Vrabel changing the culture there, and
he did.
So.
The Patriots are good, but the Bills are significantly better.
I mean, they're still short players, though, right? They'll be much better next year when he's able to add some more players. But
I just think if the Bills were going to get upset, it was going to be last week.
This is a big game for the Patriots. If they win this game, they could start thinking about playoffs.
Because they have a weak schedule, man.
Sure.
They have a really weak schedule.
I'm not sure I'd go as far as Super Bowl, but I mean they could definitely think playoffs. They win.
Absolutely.
This game. You go into Buffalo and win. You're thinking you have a good enough team to. I mean, shit, you could win the Super Bowl if you're good enough to beat them.
Yep,
for sure.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Well, let's get into bragging rights.
All right.
Oh, bragging rights.
This is the part that hurts the most. Jeff will lead. You can just lead off for us, buddy.
Yeah. So this is like the second bad beatish week in a row for me because last week I went 3-1 in the game I lost. The Dodgers walked 4 guys in 1 inning. There was no hits, but they walked 4 guys in 1 inning. That's why I lost. This week I won everything that you see on the screen here, except for the Giants. Chargers over 45.5. I needed 7 more points in that game. The Giants had a 1st and goal at the 1. They ran 4 plays and they didn't score. So I consider that to be a bad beat. But what are you going to do? I'm 6-2 on these in the last 2 weeks, and it amounts to dick. So
Oh,
exactly right. Jay, why don't you go over yours here?
yeah, kind of the same boat. Yankees came in for me over 5.5. It took it was an eighth inning. Eighth inning home run for me, but it was nice to see. Ohio State took care of business just the way I thought they would. Cam Young was who we thought he was, being the leading rookie point getter, and then the Packers, just decided to tie. So 3-1 there. Moving on.
Jay, did you check to see if you were getting a cash out on that or no, by chance?
Yeah, I got to cash out before the game. It was like 153. It wasn't, the integrity of your bragging rights is about seeing it through to fruition. So we're not going to cheap out there in that situation. And again, truth be told, no, it wasn't like it was a drunk mindset or anything like that. I was completely sober. I was just like, I really think the Cowboys are going to get their asses kicked tonight.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
that's still a pretty decent cash out.
And listen, and I think I text, but it's 4-1 on them, 5-1 on the money. I wasn't happy with that, but I text Jeff, and this is probably true in most games and most betting, but I think I've only lost 4 games straight up in the NFL this year, and all 4 have had some form of a kick block or a block kick, right?
Yeah.
So that probably happens to most people when you get kicks blocked, but I'm just like, that game was, Green Bay was in complete control. It was 13-0. They block a kick. Next thing you know, it's 13-2. And then Dallas scores 2 touchdowns in 53 seconds.
Yeah.
So the game just flipped, and I actually turned the game off. I'm like, I'm not watching this anymore. I already know I'm losing my bet, and I just didn't care. I was tired. So that's all I got to say about that.
All right, Bubba, why don't you round us out here?
All righty. Seattle took care of business. Pittsburgh took care of business. That Bills-Saints game did not go over, and Washington lost to the Falcons. So that made quick and easy. There you go.
On to this week, and we'll start right with you. We'll give you the ball here. Go for it.
Yeah. So
Stafford just fumbled. Sorry.
I got the Sox winning tonight. Money line plus 134. Obviously, that game's 0-0. Yankees are threatening now with 2 outs, so we'll see how that one ends up. And then I took the Cowboys to win. Jeff, shout out Jeff, the Bucks to cover 3. I didn't take a money line, but I took them to cover. And then I got the Chiefs to beat up on Jacksonville. 25 wins 269 and some change. If the Red Sox pull this one on tonight, I feel comfortable. That's the one I'm most worried about, obviously. So we'll see how it goes.
All right.
Very nice. Jay, I want to preface this with this. I love this parlay. I'll probably be riding with you here.
Oh, nice.
Love this parlay.
Let's go. You already heard it earlier in the college football segment. I like Texas to go in and boat race Florida. I did buy it down to 5.5 just in case things get tight. Touchdown or less wins there. Louisville, huge letdown game for Virginia coming up. Fans still storming the field there. But I also think Louisville's good. I had this circled beforehand to play Louisville anyway. So I like it. Bought it down there to 5.5 as well. Same scenario. Just give me a 6-point win. Titans plus 7.5. We already talked about it. It's my lock of the week. So that's going to be in there. And then the rookie everybody's been clamoring for, who's been turning around on routes like, why doesn't my quarterback throw me the ball? Is going to be playing a defense that's not really good at the football. He's 4 games in without a touchdown as a hyped up first round rookie pick. So I think it's Tet McMillan time at plus 185. Bolsters my odds a little bit. 17-1, 25 pays 457 and change.
Very nice. Yeah, that Louisville hasn't played a solid game yet, and they've won every game. They should have lost this past weekend. I think it was to Pitt. They were getting their ass kicked. It was bad. But Jeff, excuse me. I'm so used to doing Bubba last. Jeff, talk to me.
Yes. So this ticket is a mess. I actually put this in on I put this in on Monday. It was just a convenience thing. I happened to be there, so I threw the ticket in on Monday. And it actually worked in my favor in a lot of these games. The Rams, I got at -3. Today they were -8.5. Of course, right now they're losing 14-0, so it probably doesn't matter. The Browns, I got +5. Again, I think right now that's down to +3.5, something like that. So I got them at a good number. I mean, the one where I really got screwed is the Ravens. I had them at -9.5, and of course, the news came out that Lamar is not going to play, and now the Ravens are actually an underdog in that game. So, Bubba, I'm hoping your scenario plays out and the Ravens still end up crushing them. I'm not a huge believer, unfortunately. And as I mentioned to you guys earlier, I like the Bucks. I got them +2. So, again, none of this matters if the Rams don't turn this around. And as Ashley just hinted at, they just fumbled. It was an unforced fumble, like inside the red zone. So, not good.
Not good at all.
No.
Not good.
So, there you go.
Well, that was bragging rights, folks.
All right, couple of 3-1s and bragging rights last week. I have a feeling someone's going to hit this week.
Might not be me.
It is not shaping up to be you.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to Bubba. As a Yankee fan, I hope it's not you either, because that means the Yankees would be out, which would be not good at all. So, all right. Well, that brings us to the end of the podcast. That's what happens when bragging rights comes. Follow us at Casual Chaos Live on all the socials: X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channel is at Casual Chaos Live. Twitch channel is at Casual Chaos Live. The Discord at Casual Chaos Live. Send us your tickets, send us your plays, send us your comments. The Discord pops daily now, which is great. A lot of tickets going in there, so please add to it. Join us Sunday live, 1 p.m. We'll probably be on around, call it 12:45, 12:40-ish. Shooting the shit, getting ready, talking about our bets in addition to what's come in. We should have some boots on the ground hopefully this week as well, getting some real-time information, and we'll see how it goes. But give it a shot. Come hang out with us. And if you do join us, do us two favors. Get there, subscribe, either on Twitch or YouTube, and then chat with us, right? Because this is all about us interacting with you as much as we want to talk to each other. I really don't even like hearing my own voice, so I'd rather talk to you guys and shoot the shit. So chat away, all right? And that's all I got. You guys have anything to add before we take off?
No, good show, and again, some good sports on tonight, so I'm looking forward to the rest of the evening.
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
Well, thank you to producer Tyler, as always. Thanks for $1 Ant coming on and giving us hopefully some winners instead of losers this week. But we love the participation. Jeff, Bubba, great seeing you guys. We are done.
All right,
Peace
guys.
out.
Take care.
All right.
See you.
Out. Later. Hi, everyone. This is Jay Ash, one of the hosts of the Casual Chaos podcast. Podcast you are about to listen to discusses gambling and wagering on sporting events. Please be advised the gambling and sports wagering content during this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial or gambling advice. Sports wagering involves significant risk. If you choose to gamble, please do so responsibly and only gamble with funds that you can comfortably afford to lose. All opinions, wagering tickets discussed, or implied wagers on the Casual Chaos podcast are not guarantees to result in financial gain. You must be 21 years or older or of legal gambling age in your jurisdiction to participate in sports wagering. Please verify the gambling and sports wagering laws and regulations within your jurisdiction prior to placing bets. Listeners are solely responsible for their own wagering decisions and outcomes. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call or text the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. We encourage everyone to engage with sports betting responsibly. The host and the Casual Cast podcast assume no liability for any losses incurred as a result of listening to this content.